Yo, what's good? It's been Friday here back in the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another College Football 25 video. Today we're going to be running another defense out of the nickel 3-3 double mug formation. This is going to be in the multiple defensive playbook, and this is going to be another bluff blitz type scheme out of this double mug. Obviously one of the more pressure prone formations in the game defensively. People like to send heat out of it. We're going to show you one of my favorite ways to bluff this pressure and be able to catch your opponent off guard in either a max protect or just have him running a few man beaters, being in that zone coverage. And obviously when I say bluff blitz, this is something that you're not going to sit here and run every single play. A bluff blitz only works if you are blitzing, so you mix it in with the blitz, and that's when it becomes very good. So we're going to run the linebacker blitz 3 play. It is in the very center right here of the defensive formation. Again, we're in the multiple playbook, and yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. Personnel wise, you guys kind of know the deal with the formation. What we can do, we can put safeties here for better coverage if we want. Obviously they're not going to be as good in the run game. For now, we'll leave auto flip on and our zone drops at default. We'll talk about situationally when could be a good time to change those, but once again, linebacker blitz 3 here in the middle. Let's get straight into it. Now, we're going to go against this PA double post, which I think is just a solid play here. A lot of good stuff. Post, crosser, a little wheel route. Now, immediately just taking a look at the formation, I like pressing. You don't have to press, especially if you're worried about getting burnt. Simple cover 3 shell. We have a 5-man rush, and the coverage on this will be okay. Like if we just run this play stock, you would use the 3-rec hook. You can get pressure. It's going to be a decent coverage. Now, one thing that you can clearly notice from there is that we do have a seam flat on the field, and pretty much what a seam flat, or what 2 seam flats do, is they're actually a match coverage. So with the seam flats, you see number 8 is a seam flat. He plays the seam and he actually chases that post. And what does that do? That leaves these routes over here wide open. So if you want to simply counteract a seam flat, what we could actually do is put either a hard flat or a curl flat over there. So you have a curl flat and a seam flat, and this is a good way to kind of counteract that. Now, another thing you notice with the cover 3 match shell is that also this outside third is going to be playing match coverage. So he follows the post, and this leaves the wheel route open. So this can be obviously leading to some concerning things. And I'm just going to show you guys kind of a way that I like to counteract both of that. Now, immediately one thing that we can do is, we're not really bluffing pressure. How do most people play a double mug style of defense? Is they're going to be using one of these safeties, specifically usually this free safety. So in this case, we have him in a seam flat. We can still use him, and then we can go ahead and throw this player in a curl flat. Obviously, you want to try and get someone with athleticism. And let's say we just want to play coverage like this with a little hook curl with this extra linebacker. Obviously, a 3-man rush here, but this coverage, not going to be terrible. Again, I would probably still avoid the seam flats just because that match can lead to problems. Now, if he's on a normal flat route, like this tight end, if he's on a normal out route, the seam flat can actually be something that's not too terrible, right? And again, all I did here was press, put X in a curl flat. The way you do that is double tap D-pad to the left twice, press X, left stick to the right, and then I put A in a hook curl, D-pad, or double tap D-pad to the right twice, press A or X on PlayStation, and then left stick to the left, put him in a hook curl zone. Now, I put the tight end on a little out route, so let's say the tight end's on out route. This is going to be a good way to play coverage, and you see they actually match. Like number 4 matches onto him, and that's, I believe, the 3 receiver hook. So you can play a cover 3 match. It just can be high risk, high reward, because there are certain ways to beat it. You see the out route, it's open until this guy finally gets his match assignment and plays it. So it's risky. It's something that's usually pretty safe to mix in. Like if they didn't have like this wheel route, usually match would be a good coverage defense for it. And again, we don't have necessarily match on this left-hand side because we have the normal curl flat. So if there's any kind of routes going over there, it's not too concerning generally speaking. But like here, the match can be good, but it just leaves holes in the defense, so we're going to generally run the cover 3 stock shell. Obviously, if I just pick like a random play in here, like a dagger whip, and we run cover 3 match against it, it can work. just running like these stock default plays, and here you see everything's covered. So if you want to mix in cover 3 match, I'm certainly okay with doing that, but it's not something that you would run multiple times a game because it's prone to getting beat deep. And if you can recognize you're running a cover 3 match, you could be in trouble. But like for this play, seam flat absolutely bags the zig route. This route is cooked, streak not open, and over here, this route is really not open either. Running back's defended by the 3-rec hook. We have our user we can do whatever we want with. So overall, this coverage is going to be pretty solid in most cases. Again, I would warn you, and I like showing you guys the weaknesses of the defense because I don't want you to get online and be like, hey, this defense sucks. I just got beat for a touchdown. Obviously, that's not what we want. And you're free and available to man up certain players as well. I could man up this player on either the tight end or the slot wide receiver, like so, if I'm concerned about getting beat by certain routes. Like if the tight end is killing me or the running back is killing me, maybe on an angle route, or who knows what the setup is. Then we're actually able to, come over here, take care of it. Usually, I mean, even there, you see everybody is defended well. Obviously, you have to be recognizable with the user on who I want to defend. In this case, it has to be X, so you do have to be careful. Now, again, with the bluff blitz, you want to make sure you're standing like right here to look like blitz. You want it to look like a blitz coverage. Offensively, I'm thinking it's potentially a cover 1 here, and it's that mid-blitz play, or a cover 0. So, yeah, so there's a few different ways that we can switch up this coverage. Now, again, we showed just traditional man coverage. Obviously, what we can do is just shade over the top, turn it into a classic cover 3. Again, go curl flat, hook curl over here, 3-man rush. Again, you can man up either of those players on whoever you'd like. Boom, we're over here usering, and here you see, I mean, nothing is open, and this is a decent route combo as well. So, really good coverage. Again, even a better setup would be like a little flat over here. So if we run it again, curl flat, hook curl, and I just shade over the top. Shading over the top is also going to help assist you with getting beat deep, especially with those press thirds, and you don't have to run the press thirds. And even then, we just sent 3 and we got instant pressure. Can that happen? It certainly can. Just the blocking in this game is bad, so random stuff can happen like this. I don't know why this happened, but who's going to complain? I mean, nobody's really going to be open here. If you had to throw it to somebody, this would be the route. That's a difficult read to make, and it's kind of a scary pass that a lot of people would probably try and avoid. Could you hit the wheel on the sideline? Yes, but that third is going to end up taking it. Again, when we shoot over the top, the outside thirds are not going to match anymore either. So, very solid there. Now, let's say I didn't want to user that guy. If I'm playing normal coverage, we could go cover 3 cloud over here, shade over the top, and we just have a normal defense, and I would probably just use this player. So this is going to allow us to get a 3-man rush. If I'm concerned about the scramble, I can contain, keep him in the pocket a little bit, and then I'm free to go over here, user. We still get really, relatively quick pressure. Obviously, we're using Georgia. Take it with a grain of salt, but this would be a good coverage. I mean, our 3-receiver hook, it just plays better than most general hook curls or vert hooks or mid reads. Over here, again, your only read would be this backside post. It's a tough pass to make. This wheel, you think it's coming across, but we have our outside third that's going to take that. And how do you decide which side to run the cover 2 on? I would always usually run it on the wide side of the field. If I wanted to run it flipped, could I? Yes. You would just simply do it like this. And it's going to have to be a 3-man rush. Or you could actually blitz this slot corner off the edge and still user over here, like this. If you wanted to play the cover 3 cloud, I like having the vert hook on the cover 2 side if I'm able to. So this is going to be really good. We're able to lurk over here. Boom. Nobody really open. I forgot to shade over the top on that play. But normally, again, you would have the curl flat over there. So that's a good way to actually flip the cover 3 cloud, especially if you're running a lot of that defense and he's catching onto it. So let's go over the adjustments. What did I do? I put B in a cloud flat. I put A in a vertical hook. I put L1 in a deep half. And then I put Y in an inside third, X in a curl flat. Now, you would really have to practice those adjustments because it is a lot. But with practice, trust me, you're able to get that off pretty quickly before the play starts with no concerns. I mean, coverage there is good. Generally, with my user, I would probably just follow that guy over. But the cloud flat, with a cover 3 cloud, you could actually set your zone drops to about a 10-yard range, and that's probably where I would sit it at. So again, if we wanted to send slot pressure, you could still run the defense like so. And if I'm concerned about having my D lineman in coverage, I could throw this curl flat over here in coverage, and then maybe I leave my user over there. I could still just rush all 4 D linemen with a vert hook like this. So this is going to get all my better pass rushers rushing the passer, and it's going to get me more athleticism in the middle of the field. We end up getting pressure. Nothing is really open. Again, with the zone drops, you set that cloud flat to 10. That's going to take away that underneath route. So overall, I think that's really good coverage. Again, if you wanted to run like a heavy man look, we could maybe man up the slot corner stock. I would shade over the top, and then I would go, you could even go 2 curl flats and user over here still. This is going to keep the 3-man rush, and we still have the 3 rec hook. Classic cover 3, we shade over the top, no matching, and boom. A lot of times, again, you're really just trying to catch them off guard. Set your zone drops to about 10 with those curl flats, or maybe even higher. 3-man rush pressure is not going to be amazing, but again, if they're expecting blitz, they're going to be throwing all these man beaters out. I would mix between the cover 3 match and the classic cover 3, because the cover 3 match is really high risk, high reward. You could really defend well, especially if they're going with like man beating routes. They're expecting man coverage. You saw it when we ran the play with the zig and the little C route on the left, backside dig. Nothing was open, but with the wheel route and all these special unique routes, a lot of people have these special, match beaters. They can beat you, especially with like running back wheels and things like that. So be careful. Like if we just ran stock cover 3 match, and I tried, I should have put him on a wheel. I don't know. I wish I could motion this guy over. Doesn't seem like I can. He's not going to flip. That's unfortunate. But if the running back was on a wheel, then obviously we could kind of take advantage. Just against a stock cover 3 match, there's always going to be like people open, like little drag routes. So in game, it's risky, but if you can catch them off guard with it, run it a few times. Anyways, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, that like button, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace.